listening to Cripple Streets. Sit your ass back and enjoy the show. You are now listening to Cripple Streets. If you ain't about them Cripple Streets, then you got to go. You are now listening to Cripple Streets. This is my whole life. This is all I know. You are now listening to Cripple Streets. Hit them Cripple Streets and let's make some dough.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Cripple Streets podcast again. Quarantine. Was this like the 7th week, dude, of quarantine?
It's insane. I think it's like 69, 67 days, some shit like that.
I'm losing track, but we have an incredible guest today.
Yes, we have a very special guest. Her name is Jesi Stracham. I knew I was going to fuck that up.
Dang! I can't believe you got that. No one ever gets it first try.
Don't worry, he didn't. I've been training him all day. I'm like, listen, she's made posts about people fucking her name up. I was like, get it right. And he's like, all right, I got it. He's still doing it.
Yeah, I have.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. So, I won't say met you, but I actually found out about you. I'm pretty sure you know him. We had Drew Claiborne on our podcast.
Drew.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We had him. He's awesome.
His whole family is just like him. I mean, his dad, Tracy, his stepmom, his sister, they're all just compassionate, kind human beings, just like Drew.
Yeah, no, he absolutely is. So I was talking to him, obviously, after, and then I just saw, all his followers liking pictures and stuff, and then I saw your Instagram, and I was like, oh, let's see what she's all about, and within, I'd say, 3 minutes, I'm like, this girl is crushing it in the disabled community, and just the community, period. Like, I didn't realize, after looking through your story, you have a lot of things going on. Obviously, all positive, but why don't you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, he tested me, and he's like, yo, you have to check this out. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's check it out. You see one handicapped person, you've seen them all. But I started scrolling through I'm like, yo, your story is insane. So we thought we'd start off by just having you tell everyone, pretty much a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Jesi.
Mm-hmm. How you doing?
I'm bubbly, compassionate, fun. I am the ambassador of hope. So many people, regardless of disability or no disability, they're walking around life hopeless, and they think that whatever their obstacle is permanent and that they can't get over it, when in reality that's where their growth is and that's where they're going to learn. And so my goal is just to help people see what their obstacles hold for them. And I feel very fortunate. I was in a motorcycle accident 5 years ago. A woman made a U-turn into the bike I was on. The driver of the bike went through her car, broke his leg. I went over her SUV and I broke my back in 2 places. My ribs punctured my lungs, nicking my spinal cord. I have a traumatic brain injury and I coded twice and was resuscitated. So I'm super lucky to be alive, and I literally live every single day with that mindset.
I love that. Not what happened, but the mindset that you have is fucking great, because let me tell you something right now. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm doing all right. I know what it's like. I've never been able to walk. You throw me over an SUV, I may not be smiling for a while.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Listen, she went to a fucking car. What are you talking about? But it's great that you're able to put a positive spin on it. So yeah, it's funny you say that, because I saw a post on your Instagram. I think it's like you outside of your wheelchair, and there's a specific quote you said. What was it? It was, I'm grateful for the opportunity in my struggle, which I think, I've never said it eloquently like that. I've always said, you always find good and bad situations, but I think that's, a great way to look at life.
I mean, I'm alive, and I'm very fortunate to be alive. And at the end of the day, it happened. I'm paralyzed. It is what it is. And we could either be pissed off about our situation, or we could do everything in our power to make sure that we live a happy, healthy life, regardless of our situation. And in reality, there's more opportunity from this seated position than I ever had walking.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, after you got that mindset, I mean, you're fucking crushing it right now. Why don't you tell, I was telling Tori a little bit about your foundation and also your business. And excuse me if I get it wrong, because I only looked it up a few days ago. Wheel With Me, it's called?
That's it,
Right, all right.
really.
So
Yeah.
what's that all about? Obviously, I have a little idea, but I feel like the owner might be able to tell me.
So Wheel With Me Consulting is my business. We have leggings and crop tops and merch. And then we do consulting services. So with bigger business, how to make their businesses more wheelchair friendly. I speak through that. So I have been traveling the country the last year up until COVID, speaking and sharing my story and my insights. I also have coached a few individuals. And so I do offer coaching services as well. And now I'm acting.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Well, I got a role, and I'm so excited. We got the script today.
Today, congratulations.
It's for pilot. I'm playing a girl in a wheelchair, which I'm stoked on. So it's gonna be great.
Wow,
I'm so stoked.
Awesome.
That's amazing. Because that's another thing. Like, just in regards to representation. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Myself was younger. I'm pretty sure Troy would agree. Even though obviously it would have been awesome to see somebody in a wheelchair or disabled on TV, whatever, I didn't really think about the impact of non-representation had until as you get older. If you're a kid and you don't see people with what you have or what somebody else has, even though yes, it's not, you don't think it's a big deal, it does have an effect on you. I think it's important that we start showing representation, even on TV.
100%. And, people don't realize we're the ones to make the difference. It's like, I want things changed within my government. Well, you have the power to go to DC and lobby for whatever it is that you want changed. And I don't think a lot of people realize how much power they truly have. Like, whatever it is you want in your life, if you put the effort forth to make it happen, it's going to happen. And if you want to see something, but no one else is doing it, you've got to be that person to do it. I believe it was Ali Stroker told me that there was only 3% of the wheelchair population that's in TV and movies is actually a person with a disability.
Really?
I'm unfortunately not surprised.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it comes down to ignorance, I think. They don't know what we need. What accommodations are we going to have to make for this person with a disability? And I hate to say it, but maybe they don't want to make that extra effort.
Absolutely. I think the other problem is, it seems to me from the little we're talking that you're slowly trying to change that, and when people think ignorance is a bad word, like terrible, if you want to be, if you continue to try to be ignorant, that's one thing. But if you think there's this ignorance going on and you try to educate, that's a good thing.
Well, the word ignorance means not to know. If you're actively ignorant, then you're just an asshole. But I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant to brain surgery or certain diseases. But that's why you educate yourself, which it seems
exactly
like that's what you're doing. You're trying to educate people and make people aware.
That's fucking great. That's awesome.
And I mean, realistically, my Instagram is my diary. I literally, if I share something, like today's story is the perfect example. I shared it because I needed to hear that. And I feel, again, we're not alone in our struggles. And so if I needed to hear that, who else needed to hear it?
Absolutely.
Why don't I just share it with the world? So the other part of Wheel With Me, which hosts the meetups and things like that, is Wheel With Me Foundation. And our ultimate goal is to build a transitional community for spinal cord injury survivors to integrate them back into independent community. 51% of my community lives on some type of government assistance and solely relies on that for their independence. And being a growing population with no known cure, something's got to change. There's so much life to be had from this wheelchair, why aren't we living it? Where's the disconnect? So I would like to be that connection between inpatient rehab, which essentially is like high school. You'd go to Wheel With Me House, which is your university where you apply those skills you learned in rehab, but then you build on them and learn how to live life. And then you can go home and you have the obstacles you're going to face at home are going to be things that you can really apply, where the small things like going to the bathroom, getting your pants on, getting into bed, all of that's addressed and you're strong enough and you're ready.
That is fucking great. I was actually, we've talked about this on our podcast before, obviously not with, injured, spinal injuries, but I think that like, we used to go to a school from pre-K to 12th for people strictly with physical disabilities. And I think the biggest problem, even though I love the school, I think society as a whole doesn't prepare like any of the disabled community from where the world becomes more adaptive. They don't know how to live after they don't have that one-on-one where someone's like, don't forget to do this. You know what I mean? It's just not, they're not ready to be adult disabled people in the world, which isn't their fault. I'm just saying, I think it's awesome that you're making strides to change that.
Well, I also think a bigger difference is when you're younger, you have a lot of people that think you need, and you may, based on your age, people to advocate for you. But what you're kind of talking about is advocating for yourself and making sure that, people know what you need, you know what you need. Sometimes if you have someone advocating for you, you don't know what you need. You think you need what your advocator says you need.
Right,
exactly. If that makes sense.
That convoluted craziness.
Exactly. You're like, oh, I need that. It's like, but you might not need that. Your advocator thinks, but you're an adult now, so you need to learn to advocate for yourself. And I think a lot of disabled people need to learn how to do that.
Well, there's also this blanket over people with disabilities of we're all one and the same, when, to a certain extent, yeah, we're similar, but we're not even close to being the same. Even spinal cord injuries, every spinal cord injury is so different. It's like every person's an individual. And that's one thing I stress is that we're individuals on our own path. So I can't compare my journey with Chelsea Hill's journey because she's doing something completely different than what I'm doing. Or just because I have the same injury level as this girl and I'm not getting back the same amount, we're different. We're living different lifestyles. And I think that is often forgotten in this sea of social media where everybody's life looks so perfect and I'm living my disabled life, which is why I'm so raw and real about what I'm going through, is because there is so much of this stigma of everything's perfect. You have to be this certain way. This is what's got to work for you.
Absolutely. I did notice that. I mean, again, I've only been following you for probably 2 weeks now, but like you really, you show pretty much every aspect of your life on Instagram. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable, but I've seen you try on Instagram. I've seen you happy. I see, you know what I mean? I'm like, I think it is important. And I think it's kind of courageous because I don't know if I would share. Don't get me wrong, I share quite a bit on the podcast.
Yeah, we're not very private.
Not that private, but you really you start filming when you're upset, when you're happy, and it's
not a show.
No, you're not. It's not a show. You're just talking genuinely.
I do everything I do for 22-year-old me, laying in that hospital bed with no resources, unsure of what my life was about to look like. You go your entire life with full, not only able to walk, but full use of your bladder, full use of your bowels, being able to balance, to put your hair up, to put makeup on, the way you shower. The way you put your pants on, the smallest things were taken away from you. And it's like, holy crap, my life is over, and you're overwhelmed really quick. And if I can just give these individuals a little bit of hope that I was in that same place as you. And you know what? To the individual that's been injured for 5+ years and is having a crappy day, I'm in the same place as you. We're the same in our emotions, and you're not alone. And I think it's so important that people know that they're not alone.
I totally agree with that. And I think it's I mean, me and Eric have always talked about this. Like, I've always been unable to walk. I've never had the ability to walk, so I don't know what I'm missing. So I always wonder, when people get into an accident or they have a disability that makes them, they're able to walk one time and unable to walk, how they react to it. And I think that, you have a great way of looking at it. Would you say your accident made you more outgoing? Because you seem extremely outgoing and confident, which you would think would be,
was that a trait you had before?
Was that a trait you had before, or?
I was outgoing before. The confidence was never what it is. My injury gave me so much, from my faith to the awesome disabled community to self-love. I really learned, because all the exterior appearances are taken away. I don't have this fit body that I used to have with these nice legs and a big butt, and I'm not squatting in the gym, and that appearance is gone. And so you're forced to really dive inside yourself, and especially this quarantine has been the most amazing I'm sick of myself journey that I've ever had,
right?
Because it's forced me to address over the last 5 years actions that I made that I didn't really care for, patterns that I have that I'm not really caring for, and it's making me address on how I can change it and twist it and continue to grow into the person I want to be. I've always been compassionate, I've always been outgoing, but my injury brought the better things out of me because it put life into perspective.
Wow, that's wild. I know you said with the whole quarantine thing going on, I was watching, obviously when we interview someone, we want to do at least a little bit of research. I think I overheard through my research that you're gardening now because of the quarantine. You have a garden? Is that true, or did I mishear?
Garden?
Yeah, garden.
Yeah, I do. It's, I have this little area. I transfer to a mat on the ground, and I tend to my cucumbers and my onions. That's all I have.
That's hilarious. I like it.
Well, to be fair, we do this. Well, you don't.
No.
But me and Taylor do the same thing. Me and my fiance have a, I don't know what the fuck you call it, an arrow garden, I guess, where the little tomatoes are growing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, like a hydroponic thing.
Yeah. There's a light, it stays on for 12 hours or some shit like that.
I love it. Yeah, I started all these things from seeds.
Yeah, that's dope.
They were, and you're growing your own food. That's a beautiful thing. That's like powerful.
I'm trying to get them to start grow weed, but we'll see what happens. That's my next move.
Let me know.
Yeah, before you know it, Jesi's gonna have 4 plants behind her the next time we interview her.
No, so I rent the basement from my parents. It's so crazy. Our house, before I was injured, was set up for a wheelchair user.
Really?
So I had a roll-in shower, bars beside the toilet. All I had to do was put a lift and a ramp in. And the guy who put the lift in, he's like, oh, I was here when this house was being built. So the basement was originally built for the mother-in-law who used a wheelchair, but she had passed before they finished building, so they never put the lift in.
So you have a lift in your house?
It's outdoors, yeah. It's like, those outdoor lifts that they have at churches and stuff?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Oh.
That's what's
Dude,
up.
that's fucking something to think about.
Yeah, because we're in an apartment right now, and obviously it's myself, him, and his fiance is pretty much here all the time. But we're actually talking about possibly getting a home, and we're like, or how the hell am I? Because we don't want to. Sooner or later, especially when they get married, we're not going to all be on the same floor. So I'm thinking, like, how the hell are you gonna get upstairs, or I'm gonna get upstairs? I think an outside elevator might be the move.
Oh, it's sick. I love it. The only thing is, every year you have to get it maintenance, and that's for me down here. Y'all are in New York, right?
Yeah.
Well, down here in Charlotte, it's $200 a year, but then I had to get the batteries replaced this year as well, so that was an extra $200, so it was like $400. But to put the lift in itself, it was around $11,000 with the cement pad, and I raised the money GoFundMe because vocational rehab didn't help, and I didn't really know about the services or anything at that time.
Well, $200, it seems like nothing, but we're in New York, so we'll fucking see.
Yeah, well, it's probably gonna be more than that.
What part of New York are y'all in? Because doesn't it depend on what county you're in if it's going to be expensive or not?
Kind of.
Yes, but it's like, which is more expensive? It's always going to be expensive. But we're on Long Island in Suffolk County, so
Okay.
it will probably be expensive.
It's gonna be mad expensive.
Yeah.
Hands down.
But it is what it is.
Sorry to burst the bubble, guys.
I did see
I just saw Eric for a few
yeah,
days.
okay. Or we'll sell the weed that you're gonna grow.
Right, either way.
What did it say? Oh, I saw one of your posts about. Did you go to North Carolina? The government saying that you wanted a question added to the driving test. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, but they haven't got back yet. So I want to, our biggest issue, everyone wants to park on the freaking access line.
Oh, fucking
and it's like, think about how vocal our youth is. And so what if we added the question, what is the white lines in an accessible parking space for? And that is a question that they have to know the answer to. Every time they see somebody parked in that spot, they're going to be like, hey, you're taking away a wheelchair user's independence. This line is for that, because they're educated about what it's for. What if our physicians are required, when they give a placard out, that they educate these individuals what those white lines are for? Like, hey, here's this placard, but don't park in the white lines. That's not part of the parking spot.
Yeah,
and it's like, that's an access line for a wheelchair user. Like, it's educating people. But if we just, one simple question, kids are so vocal. They want it, when someone's doing something wrong, they want a fight. Like, they want to say something.
Wow.
So why not give them something to say?
Absolutely. It's and you see it a lot. Like, even people don't realize, and I'll explain it. Sometimes I have someone driving me, and I'm not gonna lie, I remind them, but they themselves, because I'm in the vehicle, will park in those lines. I'm like, bro, even if I was getting out of the van, we're not allowed to park here, because I'm taking away. Let's say we park the van there. I leave, and then there isn't a car where I could have parked. Now, I'm still blocking that person's independence from getting out of their car, their van. Like, you're part of the problem at that point. Absolutely. Even if you're in a fucking wheelchair.
And people just don't get it. It needs to be, like, even when wheelchair users, it needs to be educated to them in rehab.
It does.
Like, hey, if you're gonna drive, this is what it is. I had to take driver's ed. Why didn't my driver's ed instructor inform me of that? Right. He is teaching me how to drive with a damn hand control, but you're not going to tell me how to park in the accessible spot?
Yep.
It's really simple. Like, hey, don't park in the white lines, because if someone does it to you, you're going to think they're an asshole.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the majority of people, like you said, just don't know. Don't get me wrong. I've had
ignorance.
Exactly. Just ignorant fucks.
I've had to catch some people out every once in a while at my local Chipotle. It seems like at Chipotle. Only at Chipotle. These assholes just park on the handicap. It's like every fucking time I go. And I'll have my nurse park my van behind their car so they can't pull out, and I wait for them to come out. I'm just gonna wait for them to come out. And when they come out, I'm like, excuse me, are you disabled? No. Do you know you're not supposed to park here? Oh, I didn't see. Oh, well, let me help you. You see this blue sign right here? This means you don't park here. That's it. People are fucking insane.
It's like, if you didn't see that, you shouldn't be driving.
Exactly.
There was a lady who, so we parked behind her car and waited for her. She got in the car without making eye contact and did a 14-point turn to get out without us moving our van, without talking a word to us.
Yep.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It was nuts.
She missed my van by that much.
She went back, forward. She's a little tiny, and then I'm like, she's really not gonna fucking talk to us.
I've never seen it. Yeah, it was wild. It was so crazy. So I think what you're doing is pretty important in regards to with that. I think that's a good idea, but I'm surprised they haven't got back to you. When did you contact them?
I contacted them back in January, and honestly, I took full credit hours of class this spring, and it was college algebra, and it kicked my ass. So, and now I'm actually in my summer semester starts tomorrow, and so I had a week off school.
Jesus,
and I'm like, I don't even remember the week.
Are you ever not busy? That's
so
crazy.
I have to follow up, but after the summer semester, I have a lot of things that I plan on getting done between my semesters.
I just think it's crazy you even thought to ask the question, because I was like, everyone's assholes, just yell at people when you get the chance. But I think it's a great idea to add it to the driver's ed question. I mean, it's, what's that red sign for? That means stop. What does green mean? What does yellow mean? Well, what's this blue sign mean?
We're a growing population.
Exactly.
The disabled community as a whole. The amount of placards, I feel like there's more placards distributed than there are regular parking spaces. And we need to educate people with the more of them using them. It's like, holy crap. I literally got in my car, got my wheelchair in, was getting ready to pull out, and this guy parked right on the lines. I opened my door in the window. I opened my door this much, and it hit his mirror. And I'm like, excuse me, the white lines are a loading unloading zone for a wheelchair user. And he's like, well, are you in a wheelchair? I said, as a matter of fact, I am. And I started grabbing it. He said, well, you don't got to get it out like that. And I'm like, dude, he's like, I have a placard. I can park here. I said, yes, you can park in the disabled spot, but the white lines are a loading unloading zone for wheelchair users. And then I started recording him, and then he told me I was going to get myself killed.
What?
Swear, it's on my Facebook somewhere. It happened last
all.
winter. I was leaving the boxing gym.
That is it. That's so crazy. You did get yourself killed?
He's like, you keep coming at people like that, you're gonna get yourself killed. I said, oh, because you're in the wrong. You're mad. Okay, makes a lot of sense.
That's fucking wild. That's the
My patience gone.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a problem. I would have attacked.
Oh yeah, no.
I've actually chased after a moving vehicle before, because some guy.
Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious.
Some guy almost fucking hit me. So I'm crossing. This is probably 5 rules to follow. So there's a crosswalk at my job. So there's a stop sign, a crosswalk. I never cross the parking lot unless I'm near a crosswalk. Why? Because I'm in a wheelchair. I don't want to get hit. Fuck it.
And that's what you're supposed to do anyway.
I'm like, so I go to the crosswalk. I wait. I look to my left. I look to my right. I'm like, all right, there's a truck coming, but there's a stop sign, and I'm in the crosswalk. He actually stops at the stop sign, and I see him look down at his phone. So I'm like, okay, he stopped. I start going. He's still looking down at his phone, and he hits the gas. So I have to actually turn my chair and go the same direction that he's driving, so I can be fast enough where he doesn't hit me. So he missed my back wheel by and I actually started screaming, I'm gonna get hit, I'm gonna get hit, I'm gonna get hit. So he didn't hit me, thank goodness. So I do a quick turnaround. I go, yo, fuckhead. And he stops. I'm like, yeah, you asshole, you almost fucking hit me. And he starts driving away. I don't know why, but I just started chasing his van in my chair. And then the guy.
All you hear is, you stupid, and you just hear like the little engine on his car.
You motherfucker! And then he goes to a stop sign. He sticks his head out the window. Are you fucking talking to me? I'm like, yeah, fuck, not get out of the car. And then I say, hold on. If this motherfucker gets out of the car, we're gonna have a fucking problem. I'm gonna have to attack. Because I can't go out like a bitch. So I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do? Luckily, he just drove away. But yeah, no, this.
And our boss was watching it was hilarious. One of our managers is like, why is Tori yelling at the guy on the van? I'm like, it's a long story.
I would have took a picture of his plate, and blasted him all over social media. I'm just that way, though, because I know how powerful that shit is. And had you said, this motherfucker looked down at his phone and then proceeded to gas his vehicle and about ran me over in my wheelchair, let the internet do its thing. They'd find him and they'd make him never forget that and make him look twice.
It's not a bad idea. I'm going to start
You
using
start
fucking
taking pictures of motherfuckers.
Yeah. I'm gonna have
I'm
a
a
bunch of
savage.
pictures.
I don't give a shit. Like it. Don't fuck me over. Or literally, I will.
I would kill
I'll
you.
do savage things. I'm not gonna kill nobody. I'm not trying to. No, I'm not getting locked up for someone else. But I mean, if you do me wrong, then you're on my bad side, and that sucks to be you.
Exactly.
I'm scared.
I know, right? I don't want to say the wrong fucking thing. Jesse's gonna have us terminated. No more YouTube channel for them.
Goodbye.
Yeah. What was I gonna ask you? Because I know I did. You said that you have obviously you have Will With Me, the foundation, and then you have your company Will With Me as well, right?
Yep.
So, like, when did you start that? Is it a new company? Because I'm not sure.
So the nonprofit was established in 2016, and the business was established last February.
All right. And
Yeah.
when was your? If you don't mind me asking, when was your injury? I don't even know. Like when that.
5 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was 5
okay.
years ago in January.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
How did your
Moving and shaking, not wasting any time, boys.
And
Yeah,
definitely.
I like it. I like it. How did your parents react when they? I mean, I know it's individually. You pretty much talked about how you reacted to it, but it does something like that. All disability affects
Just fixing
the family member. But I guess my question is, how did your family react? And they must be proud that you took a situation that wasn't the most fortunate and turned it into something that you're doing now.
It was harder on my dad than my mom. Of course, when my mom initially found out, she was like, I just wanted to live. But I was my dad's son he didn't have. And so I could no longer do yard work. I could no longer help him with things. And that was the hardest part for both of us. Our relationship is just now getting normal within the last year to 2 years. So it took him a pretty long time to adjust and be comfortable because he was pretty awkward at first. My mom, on the other hand, I'm so grateful for the way she is. She forced me to be independent. So whenever the week I got home from the hospital, I had an infection in my intestines called C. diff, but we didn't know. And so I kept shitting on myself. And she's like, nah, bitch, you got to clean that up yourself. Literally, her exact words. And I'm not going to be here forever. You got to learn to take care of yourself. And she'd let me struggle for like 10, 15 minutes, and then she couldn't watch it anymore. She's like, all right, let me help clean you. And I'm very grateful that my mom did that because it forced me to be independent and forced me to be self-sufficient within my injury. And I think too often family members cater to the injured individual and they're nurturing them and creating a dependency rather than independence.
We just had this conversation with you might know her from Instagram, but Ryan Tress. She's an RN. But even if not, we were just saying how apparently mine and Tori's dad and mom, they didn't fuck around. My dad's a savage. And my mom, she would be like, because we have an older brother who isn't disabled, he has no disability, and he would mow the lawn and take out the garbage and whatever, and
Help dad do shit
like manual labor. And me and Tori would be like, obviously half joking, but thank God we're in fucking wheelchairs, we don't have to do anything. And my dad's like, what are you talking about? He would take us out of our wheelchairs and have us dust furniture and the bottom of the table. And we're like, there's no dust down here. And they're like, it's not about the dust, get dusting. Like, they did not fuck around, but you think, like, it is hilarious. But then you think
I love it.
Exactly. But then you think about it, and it was a building block to, like, the world isn't going to treat you like you're in a fucking wheelchair. They don't care. No one's
They don't give a shit. You're not special.
Exactly. You are not special. So you might as well get used to the fact that we don't think you're special because the rest of the world definitely doesn't think you're special.
I totally agree, and I think it's also, it's two different perspectives with pretty much meeting in the same outcome. Because I've always been disabled, and I think when you have people that are always disabled, the parents are super protective. It's like,
So protective.
you know, oh, this is my, and they don't mean it this way, and sometimes it is what it is, but this is my injured baby, this is my injured child, I need to, you know,
Protect them.
And then it kind of transfers over to when you're injured, like if you're, like you were saying, I mean, you know, unfortunately, you had the situation, your dad was used to you being able to do certain things. So I think it may have been a mix between, oh, my poor daughter is injured, and not being able to, you know, make it better, or in his mind, make it better. Because right now, you know, you're fine. But in his mind, you know, it's hard to translate from you being able to do everything you could do to not the same way. You still do everything you need to do, just not what he's used to seeing. And I think a few years may have taken to realize, hey, this is still my daughter.
She's a badass
chick.
chick.
It takes her, she does it differently. No better, no worse, just differently.
Exactly. I'm honestly super grateful for the support system that I have between my family and my friends. I mean, a lot of people lose all of that after their injury because they're unable to cope or whatever the situation is. And I've had family support and supported my friends from the very beginning. My best friends are mostly guys, and a lot of them would help me change my wet pool up in the beginning. No problem. They had no problem helping me pull my pants up when I couldn't get them up. And I just feel very fortunate to have such great people in my life that help me when I need it, but push me to be independent. And they're like, nah, Jesi's got it. And it's like, I'm glad that my dad sees now that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, my parents they're incredibly proud of me, especially with everything I'm doing now. They're just like, I told my mom today, I'm like, Mom, if everything stays on track, you'll see me graduate next year. I've been working on my associate's for 8 years, so I'm ready.
For how many years?
8.
Oh,
Wow.
I mean, congratulations, though. No,
Good for you, though. I mean,
everybody move at their own pace.
Dude, I just didn't take school seriously my first 4 years. Then I got paralyzed, and I took 4 years off.
Oh.
And I've been back at it for a solid year now. And
oh, don't you feel like an
Sounds
asshole?
like a fucking dick. You made it look like a dick. I thought you were actively going to school for 8 years. I'm like, all right.
No, I mean, I thought about it the whole time, but that doesn't really get to anywhere. I was enrolled. I was actively enrolled, but I got put on academic probation, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this, because you know how community colleges are. But I think that everyone should go to school. It is the best just to learn how to manage your schedule.
Absolutely. I mean, we definitely get it. We got kicked out of our first college, so it's not really...
Yeah, they gave us the boot.
After 2 semesters, we drank too much, partied too much. I think my GPA was like a 1.8.
Oh my God!
So they sent us a letter and it's like,
Wow. The first semester, they were like, listen, you have to do better.
yeah.
And I said, I'm okay. And then I did it again, and then when my GPA went from 1.8 to 1.6, they're like, you can't stay here. You have to go home.
So then we take a year off, and I mean, now we both have our bachelors, but at 18, 19, but again, you're in a wheelchair, and again, even though my parents didn't protect us or coddle us at all, you still don't really, you're not going out as much as with like your friends as in, you know, the quote unquote normal person. So when you get that freedom where you go to college and you're like, I can literally do anything. Oh, it's too much. Sometimes it's too much.
Girls, drinking. I'm like, yo, there's no fucking reason for me to do anything else. What else am I doing?
A little different. When I was my first year of injury, I thought I was invincible. And so I lived that lifestyle. Drinking, wild, partying, way too many things I shall not speak of to tarnish my nice reputation, but
I would never ask you to do that. Nice.
Definitely it was a good time. Not here for a long time, here for a good time type of year.
I got it. Was that you said that was the year after your injury, or?
Yeah, so 2015, I focused on walking again with nothing happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2016, I decided to party and try adaptive sports. And I literally just traveled the country, meeting different people from the internet and just trying every adaptive sport I could. And so then the following year, this opportunity came where I could do CrossFit and for free, adaptive CrossFit. There's a instructor with CP, and she was Amanda Close. She's here in Charlotte, and it's incredible.
Stephanie
and
Hammerman?
So she do what?
Stephanie Hammerman?
No, it's not Stephanie.
Oh,
She's great. Yeah. But it's Amanda. Amanda's friends with Stephanie as well. Amanda Clow.
Yeah.
But she did Project Momentum Fitness, and so she trains people for free. I'm like, okay. And around this time, I fell on the floor, couldn't get back in my chair, had a full meltdown, posted it to YouTube. Like, I was going through some shit. And so I decided to make a whole lifestyle change, and I quit drinking. I actually just recently drink casually now. But I had quit drinking up until the beginning of this year, from 2017 to now. And it was, a complete lifestyle change. I changed my diet. I added physical activity, mental diet. I focused on that as well. That's huge. Nobody wants to talk about our mental health, but shit, we've got to practice regular gratitude, positivity, because it's so easy to be consumed by everything negative society has to say about our disabilities. And so if you don't stay conscious, if you don't continue to practice that positive mental diet, you'll get consumed by the negativity that you think. It's like, who would you be if you let go of all judgment of who you think you should be?
Absolutely, that's so funny too, because I just started realizing, we started the podcast like 2 years ago, and even on people we haven't interviewed, I didn't realize, and I've been disabled all my life, the mental health problem in the disabled community is whether you were born with it, whether you were injured, whatever. I have very, very good friends. I'm talking about people I would tell my brother, and I didn't know until about 2 or 3 years ago, a few of them suffered from severe depression.
I mean, thoughts of suicide. I mean, it's, and when you're younger, because I've never had that thought, and I come from a family, it's not a good or bad thing. I would say it's probably not a positive thing. But I come from a family where I would say therapy, as far as like mental therapy, it was like, oh, I don't need that. Like, I'm stronger than that. And maybe around 15 or 16, I had a friend pass away who was 16 years old. He died from a brain aneurysm, and I was having full-on panic attacks. And I didn't know they were panic attacks until I got older. And then I'm like, I made it through it, but talking about it with someone may have helped. But, and then you notice, dude, I think our friend might have been fucking depressed. But you don't think about it because I was young. It was never brought up to me. So, I mean, I think you're right. Mental health is
100%.
It's so important, and I think it would help the success of our community. And people are scared, especially men. No offense. I don't want to talk about my feelings. That's not manly. Shit, that's the manliest shit you can do. Come at me with some feelings, boy. Come on. Like, girls want that anyways. That's what the ladies want.
Exactly.
Talk about your damn feelings. Get it out. I waited until 4 years into my injury to see a therapist. I should have went a hell of a lot sooner, just because it feels so good to let go. And you've got to let go of the shit and figure out how you can move forward from it, and what's the positive in your shit. Because there's always positive in your negatives. No matter how bad that negative is, there's something good that can come from it.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
100%. You had to tell Corey to start telling his brothers that he loves them.
No, I can't do it.
So we obviously, me, him, and our older brother, very, very close. But just the way we were brought up. My dad, overly emotional guy. He'll tell you he loves you every day, every 30 seconds. My mom is the greatest mom you could ask for, but she's more, not towards us, but just in general. If it's not her children, she's more reserved with her emotions for the most part. Like, she's loving, but she's not gonna like go around and hugging everybody. Corey has definitely taken that on, because I'll call my brother who lives in Virginia now, and I don't say it all the time, I won't lie, but like, all right, Sean, love you, buddy, I'll talk to you later. If you tell Tori,
If you're a man.
if you're a man and you tell Corey, I love you, man, I'll talk to you later, he'll be like, zippity doo dah, bye bye.
Yeah, I can't do it.
He gets so
I get
uncomfortable.
so uncomfortable. And it makes me so weird. I don't know why. It's fucked up.
But I have friends though. Like I tell all my good girlfriends and even my guy friends, I'm like, I love you, man. Like I love you, because I think it's so important. Just I have that. Tomorrow's not promised, because I've been there. Tomorrow truly is not promised. And you care about somebody, make sure they know all the time. Like, and plus you're just spreading love. It's good vibes. Love is it's a warm feeling. Think about how much you love your fiance. Really just think about it for a second. You get this warm feeling over your body, and you're like, yeah, that's my chick. Like, it makes you happy. You're grateful for it. And so sharing that, it just gives you extra gratitude. It's like, oh, I love you. Like my family, we just recently started, my parents like regularly saying I love you when we go out the door. Of course they would say it, but it's like every time I go out the door and my parents are around, they say it. Anytime I get off the phone with my girlfriends, I say it. But there's some girlfriends you just can't say it to.
Of course.
It's weird.
Exactly.
So I got you.
She's like, I'm gonna save you.
Yeah, you feel onto me now.
In regards to keeping Tori, having Tori's back, you might be the best guest. You're not gonna let him get in trouble at all. She taught that real quick.
Yeah, real hurt.
That's funny.
Seriously though, it is. It's a warm feeling. It's like Richard, Wheels to Walking, right?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I don't.
That's what he is on Instagram. Like him and I are super close, and sometimes when we hang up, I'm like, I love you, man, like, because it's important.
Of course.
But he gets so awkward. Like he gets like you when someone says that.
It's so funny. Okay.
And so now part of me wants to do it just to make him uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, when you were telling him, think about your fiance and can you feel the warm feeling? His asshole got so tight. I don't like talking about this. He's so uncomfortable.
I'm not really openly emotional person.
But you love things, you love people, and you do know that feeling. You know how good love feels. And so, like, I want to spread that. I want everybody to feel that. Feel the love.
I like it.
I would say, and I can't lie though, like, I didn't do that all my life. I mean, I grew up in an environment where, guys really didn't do that. And I would say only in the last 2 years, and I can't really give you an example on why, like, obviously some people have like, I lost somebody, so that's, I use that as a reason. I just like, you know what, I'm just going to start doing it because you don't know if you're going to be able to, you might hang up the phone, and you really want the last thing for someone to say, all right, bye. You know what I mean? Like, the way you say, I don't want to say bye, but the way you greet people and, say goodbye to people is important, I think.
I agree. I still know how to do it.
Tori told my brother, I have feelings for you. Those words came out of his
That's
mouth.
how uncomfortable it makes me. He said, Corey, I love you. And my brain said, I have feelings for you.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Just practice. And with practice, will get more natural. Everything. Look, think about the last big change you made in your life. Like, for example, people that start diets or exercise, it's so unnatural at first. You feel like you're forcing yourself to do it. But then 6 months passes and it's a habit. So you'll get through the uncomfortable stage eventually. You just have to consistently practice it. That's your issue. You get uncomfortable and you're like, oh, no, I can't do it.
Exactly.
Can't do it.
That's your issue, bro.
That's an issue.
We're going to figure this out together. The three of us will get you there.
We're going to accomplish this as a team.
Right, exactly.
Team building skill. I like it.
I love team building exercises.
I knew that you would.
He had a feeling.
You scream team building exercise.
See, I love everything.
I like it. I'm telling you, that was honestly one of like the biggest reasons that I wanted to have you on, and obviously once I introduced, not you, but your Instagram and your message to Tori, I was like, you definitely, I would say you're probably even more positive than we are. I mean,
And that's
you're-
what I'm saying. I think it was possible. But
yeah, like even as we start talking, like you have like you bring like a really good air about you. You're easy to talk to, and you're obviously extremely positive person. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's contagious.
That's the goal. Yeah, I want you. Are you picking up on my vibes and
Absolutely, I'm picking them up.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm sending you all the best vibes. Like that's the whole reason Wheel With Me is named Wheel With Me. Like I want people to wheel with me, live life to the fullest. That's our motto. That's what we just want people to wheel with us and live life to the fullest. There's so much life to be had, and to get people to recognize that before something tragic happens to them.
All right. Well, there we go. Well, I think that's a...
Oh, no.
No, you're good. You're good there. I actually think that's a phenomenal message. I mean, honestly, I know you're a busy woman. I could talk to you another hour, so we'll definitely have to have you back on our podcast if you're
ever free.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Right.
I really appreciate your guys' time and asking me to come on. I hope, Corey, to see you at the next Wheel meetup.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll
Dude, we started drinking games. I was like, oh, I actually just ordered today kombucha because of you. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I got it. It's on its way here. You were trying... See? Apparently it's good for you, but she's like, you have to try it. I was like, I don't know what the
I
fuck
love
it
it. It's really good for your bladder. And then I was snacking on some times before we got on. Of course, always eating.
Well, it's quarantine. You're allowed to. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to go work out after this. That's my plan.
Nice. I like it. Well, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you, Jesi. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me on.
coming.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I hope you have an awesome night.
And before we go, do you have anything that you want to, I mean, obviously you will for me, but promote, and we'll put anything in the description in our YouTube page, but anything before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. It's just JesiStracham, Jesi Stracham. That is my full name. A lot of people think it's short for Jessica, and it's not. And then, of course, follow at Wheel With Me, and you can check us out. If you need help or want inspiration or have a question, please inbox me. I do my best to respond to all of them.
And you have merchandise out too as well, right?
Oh, yeah, there's merch on jesistracham.com. I'm actually I did a calendar last year, and I'm working on this year's. And so the pre-order link should go up in the next couple of months for that. There's leggings, crop tops, bras should be in the next month as well, and some summer outfits, and then hoodies, t-shirts, and all the good stuff. Pop sockets, yeah.
Oh, I have to ask you, I apologize, I know I'm keeping you, but I was just
You're
thinking, I know you said your dad said that you were like the boy that he never had. How fucking excited was he when you did Tough Mudder?
Yo, my parents were more pumped when I raced. I used to race off-road for Polaris when I was first injured.
What?
And so it's under this tarp in my backyard, but I have a single seat side by side. I'm working on fixing the brakes on it. But yeah, it's a really good time. I got to race again in the woods because I grew up racing ATVs, and then I got to continue to race after I was paralyzed, which was super cool. And then, of course, Tough Mudder. I mean, my parents were proud of me for even making 24 hours. And that's an incredible experience, too. We'll have to talk about that next time.
Absolutely. It was an absolute pleasure. You have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Enjoy your workout.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be great. These guns, these abs on it.
I like it. I'm a big fan. I'm pretty sure we're both huge fans now, and we'll talk soon. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Dude, that was a good guest. She was.
Dude.
I told you. I knew that she would bring that, because she brings, in my opinion, so much fucking positivity. Just I don't know, man. Just good vibes. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. I think her message is really, really, really important. Like,
Well, I think it pretty much goes towards like what me and you are always saying it.
Of course.
Like, I don't get me wrong. And you know what? I held back a little bit only because I wanted to give her a platform to talk.
Yeah, next time that we have her, we can.
But I do have to say my perspective has changed a little bit where, like, I definitely had to start understanding, the mental health aspect of being disabled. But I do think that it's almost the same message. Like, just be positive. Like, you can always have, a positive out of whatever negative you're going through.
Of course.
Now, I say it a little differently. Like, enough of your shit.
Right.
No one gives a fuck about your shit.
Get the fuck over it, obviously.
Right.
I mean, we joke also.
It's all ha-ha.
It's a ha-ha. But, no, man, she's fucking great. I had a great time. We have to have her back. And,
yeah, man, that was a good time. It was good, but,
dude, let me ask you a quick question and then we can go.
Go ahead.
And only because I've been thinking about this all week, and we're not gonna have it on the podcast until next week. So I was looking through obviously all these videos, and obviously Jesi is super fucking inspirational.
Of course.
And but as you've seen on Instagram, there's a lot of women now doing OnlyFans, which is really fucking weird. I'm like everybody and their grandmother is doing OnlyFans, and I'm like, I have yet to see, and I've looked. I haven't purchased, but I've looked. I have yet to see.
Hold on, go ahead. I want to hear what you guys say.
I have yet to see a disabled OnlyFans. Now, I think, as we discussed in the podcast, representation is very important. So, like, I think we need to find. I'm gonna do a search.
All right. Well, we need to be clear because you're trying to get me fucking killed.
Why? I'm not asking you.
Just fucking let me talk. Shut your fucking mouth.
I apologize.
You're trying to get me killed, and I'm trying to defend myself.
All right, defend yourself.
You can do all the research you want.
All right.
I will not be researching.
Why would you?
But right, I mean, don't be wrong. If you find someone, don't show me, but just make me aware that
they might come on.
They exist.
Okay.
They can feel free to come on. They can be a guest. I will not be doing research for the interview.
Of course, why would you?
Just ask me about tell me what I need to ask.
Yes. You know what I'll do? I'll
So
write.
you me fucking kill?
I'm sorry. It's like Joy starts blinking a lot, like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my god. Yeah, I was on my only question.
I have a question.
Talk to me.
And I don't even know why I'm wondering this question because it's probably the gayest question I'm going to ask.
All right.
But I am curious.
All right.
Are there guys on OnlyFans?
I don't know, man. I haven't watched. I mean, I could. Yeah, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you.
I mean,
next podcast.
I'm not going on the site because
look at this guy's dick.
No, I'm just saying. You're telling me there's not one chick out there that would. You're
of
right.
course.
That's a stupid
No,
question.
yeah. What are you talking
No
about?
one's in the pay.
Who's in pay?
Who has to pay? If a chick can test any guy, be like, hey, tell your bitch you. All right.
I was like, there are women who get unsolicited dick pics. I would say like 10 dick pics a day. And you're gonna pay a dude?
Dude, could you imagine being a woman on social media? Like, that should have been what we fucking asked her about. We fucked up.
She'll be back.
We asked about all the inspirational shit.
Yeah.
Which don't be wrong. It's
no,
amazing.
it's
But now I got real world questions.
Well, you know what it is, bro? You see, I've explained this to you before. You have a guest on. You can't get right into it. You can, but you have to build a rapport. You have to let them just...
Well, I feel like this is a rapport because I have some questions now.
All right, so we're
Some real world questions.
So, Jesse, we got some real world questions for you next time you come. Thank you so much for coming on. I had a good time, man. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Have that kombucha that's on its way.
I don't even know what that is. Is it a drink? What is it?
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. She'll explain it.
Is there alcohol in it?
No, you put booze in it, I think. I don't know.
Then why would you order it? Why would you drink it? What is it?
Listen, when somebody that positive...
What is kombucha?
Listen to what I'm telling you. When somebody that positive says, drink this and you'll be happy, it's hard to say no.
That's true. I'm just wondering what kombucha is. I don't know what it is. There's no alcohol in it. Not sure why you buy it. But let me know how it tastes.
I will. All right, everybody. We really appreciate you listening. Our t-shirts are now on sale. When this comes out, pre-order's over. You done fucked up.
It's up. That's it. It's over for you.
I mean,
but I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're like I'm probably not supposed to say this on camera. But if you're like, yo, if you don't give me one for $15.99, I'm not buying one. I will sell you a t-shirt.
Yeah, text Tori.
Text me, because he'll say no. But
I gave you a fucking 7 days, and you gotta do it on the 9th day?
listen, I'm not pretentious, all right? I may even give it to a motherfucker for $14.99 and tell you they sent me $15.99. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to get mics, bro.
We are trying to
We
get
need
mics.
microphones.
All right, well, I'm going to go explain to Tori supply and demand and how all that works. You guys have a good one. Peace.
Bye.
Yo, listening to Cripple Streets. Sit your ass back and enjoy the show. You are now listening to Cripple Streets. If you ain't about them Cripple Streets, then you got to go. You are now listening to Cripple Streets. This is my whole life. This is all I know. You are now listening to Cripple Streets. Hit them Cripple Streets and let's make some